Everyone talks about the fear of failure or the fear of success being the thing that holds them back. But what if the real fear holding you back wasn't either one of those? What if the real fear was actually a fear of burning out? This is something I see all the time with my clients. They want to up level, they want to grow, they want to take things to the next level, but there's something holding them back. And actually, deep down, what it is a fear of burning out. Hello, welcome. I am Alice Dartnell, a time and energy management coach, helping business women unfuck their flow and take action. So I get this as a problem, I get this as a struggle, and I have been there before as well. And my clients often come to me with this problem. I was talking to one of my clients the other day actually about this, and this really made her go, oh my God, like, yes, this is the very thing holding me back. And this is a message she sent to me actually. She said, this has helped me realize that I don't have any clear strategies for helping me feel safe from illness and burnout as I grow. She said, I've kept myself small and growing slowly for so long that it hasn't come up too much. I've inherently kept myself in the comfort zone. So if that is resonating with you and you think, oh, shit, I think that could be me as well, then this is the video for you. Because in this video, lovely, I am going to be talking exactly into this problem, the hidden fear of burning out. I'm also going to share with you why this happens and also the neuroscience behind it, because then we can understand what is really going on so we can break through. And importantly, I'm going to share 5 practical strategies with you that you can use straight away to overcome this. And I'm also going to be explaining to you why the very thing that you're worried about, tiredness and burning out and not being able to cope, that is the very thing that actually is draining you and is leading to a burnout. So make sure you stay tuned because I'm going to dive all into that in this video. Okay, let me give you a real life story about one of my clients. We'll just call her Charlie for sake, okay, for namesake at the moment. And she kept putting off this big exciting launch that she had this idea of. And she was doing all the things except launching the offer. And this is a sneaky thing about procrastination. Sometimes procrastination is so friggin' obvious. You're there scrolling social media when you know you should be working. Sometimes it's sneaky because you're taking action, but you're not taking action on the right things that I would call the needle movers, or in my world, I like to call them ROT, return on time. They're not things that are bringing you the return of investment on your time back to what you're expending. So you're just busy. You're just busy doing shit, okay? So the problem with her is she had associated exerting herself, pushing herself, achieving that next level. She'd associated that with burnout because she'd been there in the past where she had overdone it, not knowing how to manage her energy and look after herself, and she ended up burning out. So now she had totally equated success, comfort zone pushing, reaching a new level with, actually, I can't handle it. I can't hack that. I'm scared to push. I'm scared to push my body, and I'm scared to burn out. So it wasn't the fear of success and it wasn't the fear of failure. It was the fear of burnout that was getting her. But here's a truth bomb for you, lovely. Staying safe doesn't mean satisfied. It means stuck. It means that you're not pushing yourself. You're not expanding. You're not experiencing all the joys in life that you could be, or reaching your potential. And if anything, and the irony is there, that when you stay stuck, it actually is a bigger waste of your time and your energy, and it drains you so much more than if you'd taken that action to reach that next level. And the reason being is because, let's be honest, all you're going to be doing is beating your head. You're beating yourself up. You're berating yourself for not taking the actions that you should, or you keep mulling it over again and again, or keep physically like rewriting your plan. Whatever it is, it's going to be a time and energy drain, a lot more compared to if you just done the thing to make the action happen and step out the comfort zone. So the very reason you are scared to push yourself, you're scared to burn out, actually that is going to cause burnout in the long run, because you're overthinking, you're over worrying, and you're not taking the actions that you should be, and you're just doing all this busy shit over here. So the annoying thing with this as well this may be coming from your experience because it's happened to you in the past. And obviously I fit into that camp where I've definitely held myself back in the past because I'm scared to go back to 2019 burnout Alice. Even though that is so many years ago, I have to remind myself that I can manage myself now. I have to always remind myself of that because subconsciously I know that my body is holding that trauma of, oh my God, let's not go back to 2019 Alice and the burnout. And on a complete separate side note, but something that's really relevant, The Body Keeps Score is a fantastic book to understand how trauma is stored in the body. So go check that out another day. But this is the sneaky thing, as I said, because it could be your experience, but it could also be someone else's. It could be someone else's experience that you know, someone close to you, they've overdone it, they've then scrimped on sleep, and then because of that, they've worked long hours, and eventually they've burnt out. And you think, oh my God, I don't know about that. Like, your brain is associating success with long hours and burnout. Or perhaps you've read something in the media, or you've just grown up with that assumption. You know, I grew up with the 90s hustle culture of like, rise and grind, sleep when you're dead, you know, you got to sacrifice yourself for your goals and all that bullshit. So no wonder we've got this fear of burning out. Okay, so a little bit of neuroscience for you. When you've been through something like burnout, whether you've been through it or you know someone else who's been through it or a similar experience, because the brain doesn't know the difference between your reality or what you're imagining. When you've had that experience of burnout, your brain is now wiring the experience of comfort zone pushing, reaching the next level, success, to pain. Now, your brain's primary job is to keep you safe. Your brain's job is not to reach your goals. Your brain's job is to keep you safe. That is what it's meant to do. So if it's experienced pain and now it's created that neural pathway of like, oh, if we do this over here, we get pain. Like, of course, it's going to be holding you back. It's like your brain is almost subconsciously sabotaging you to keep you safe. So this is because of the amygdala. This is the part of the brain that's responsible for the fight, flight, or freeze. And it's just protecting you. It's basically saying like, hey, last time you worked too hard on this and you ended up really exhausted and broke. So let's not do that. Like, is that okay? So even though consciously you're working with a coach, you want to grow, you've got your vision board, you've written out your goals, your brain is putting on the brakes. The brain is trying to protect you. So when you start procrastinating, when you're starting to hesitate, when you know that you want to be taking this next level, but you're not taking the actions, there's something going on there. And it could be this fear of burnout. It's not lack of discipline. It's not because you're a bad person. It's not because you haven't got a big vision. It probably is because of this fear. So what I want you to do is to reframe it. This is so important in anything that you're trying to overcome or achieve. The power of reframing is such a powerful coaching tool, but particularly when we're trying to create new neural pathways, because what we've got to do, lovely, is we've got to create a new way of thinking to alleviate that worry the brain has got of, whoa, if we do this, you know, this experience leads to pain. We've got to create a new neural pathway around that. So a really clever technique, it's really simple but really powerful, is reframing. So we've got to reframe your ability. We've got to reframe what it is to be successful. We've got to reframe your capacity for taking on more. We've got to reframe that feeling of safety. The brain's trying to keep you safe. So we've got to find safety in what we are doing. This is so, so important because unless you do this, you're not going to be able to break through that fear of burnout. Okay, practical tip number 1, energy management. Now, because of my own experience with burnout a few years ago, I suddenly realised that time management has nothing to do with time, which is why now as a time management coach, I teach it through what I call energy-led time management. This is about working with your energy, not against it. This is about knowing that you're not meant to be on it, productive, you know, high like energy levels 24/7. That is okay. And I want you to work with your energy rather than against it. Okay, number 2, you have to have awareness. My problem with my burnout was I wasn't listening to the warning signs. I call this your canaries, like a canary down the mine. Like, what's that warning sign that something bad is about to happen, that you're running out of oxygen? So for me, this has been things like irritability, brain fog, snappiness, even things like physical things like IBS issues or a twitchy eye, which has always been the left. And when I've asked people about this or mentioned about the signs, so many people have said to me, oh my God, twitchy left eye. I did actually do a bit of research on this, and there's no rhyme or reason of why it should be the left eye, but it does make sense about the twitchiness because it's the fatigue on your muscles, especially around eye strain using computers and stuff like that. But anyway, have awareness. What are your warning signs? One of my clients, her warning sign actually was a messy kitchen. That's when she knew she didn't have things under control and that she was heading for burnout. So what are your signs? Okay, practical tip number 3. This might sound really controversial, but a little bit of stress isn't a bad thing. Short bursts of pressure can actually strengthen your resilience. You're like, oh, okay, well, that was all right. I survived that. Check me out. I'm resilient. That's a good thing. What's a bad thing is when it's constant, when it's all the time. Your brain and body then can't tell the difference between a work deadline and a real threat. So your body's always in that state of fight or flight. That's a no-no. Practical tip number 4. You've got to regulate your nervous system. You have to show your body that it's safe. Whether that's breath work, mindfulness, or one of my new favourite things, tapping, EFT. That has helped me feel safe in my body, in my environment, in what I'm doing. It activates your parasympathetic nervous system, that rest and digest part of your nervous system, because you're literally saying it's okay, it's safe. It's safe to step out the comfort zone. It's safe to expand. It's safe to do more. So you have to find ways to regulate your nervous system. And practical tip number 5, this is a real difficult one for a lot of people, but you've got to prioritize rest and recovery. Now, what that looks like to you, it's totally different, okay? And I'm going to do another video on this because this is a question I get asked a lot, but it's really personal to you. So what does that downtime look like for you? Is it a bit of yoga? Is it a bit of creativity, artwork? Is it walking the dogs? Like, what is that switch off time for you? Prioritizing that rest and recovery is so important as you're expanding, as you're stepping out your comfort zone, and as you're trying new things. So if you've been playing small, if you've been procrastinating, if you've been not stepping up to the level and the version of you that you know is possible and that person that you want to be, please don't beat yourself up. Please take this information and realize that actually it's probably not a fear of success or a fear of failure that's holding you back. What could be potentially holding you back from achieving your goals and taking action is a fear of burning out, whether that's from your own experience or something that you've just been indoctrinated with as you've grown up, saying, oh, I equate success with long hours and that means burnout. It's just your brain and maybe even your nervous system trying to protect you. And the good news is, obviously, you can rewire it. As we looked into the neuroscience behind it, we know that we can rewire that. And by taking on some of those practical tips, I know that you can do that sooner than you think. You can build that trust with yourself to be like, you know what? I can expand. I can step up. I can get out my comfort zone and achieve success and not burn out in the process. If this has resonated, then please give a like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more videos to support you with your time and your energy management. My name is Alice Dartnell, and it is my absolute mission to help business owners like yourself unfuck their flow and take action. So I hope to see you in the next video, and don't forget to comment below and let me know what's been useful for you today. Power of reframing. Oh, I'm on the wonk. You can like coaching. Fuck's sake! Powerful coaching thing, like a coach. Oh, fuck's sake. Okay, so before we dive into some tips, I fucked that up again. Why am I fucking this up so fucking much? Someone was singing to me, and I didn't. Oh, they don't sing, do they? With this. No, they're dead.